Good morning and welcome once again to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman Bergeron. It's always a joy to be with you. Um, I got all kinds of flashing going on here. Have no clue what that's all about. However, I'm here and I welcome you to spring and to April and to joy and love and peace, and may your journey be filled with laughter and fun, and um, may each of you come to appreciate the changing of the seasons, knowing that we exist in a cyclical pattern that is not controlled by humans. I'm just going to take a deep breath at that. So that's today's topic: is welcome to April and spring. And what do April and spring really have for us to relate to and deal with as we move forward into this year? So for those of you in the southern hemisphere, it's fall. That's also a very beautiful time of transition where you let go and you prepare to go inside. Where here in the northern hemisphere, we are preparing to go out. However, the message is really for both of us, even though I've focused it on spring and what that brings. There is still a lot of time left in what we call the fall to prepare ourselves for going inward. And it's all about change. This is where we are in our evolutionary path. It's all about change. So not only do our earthly cycles change and force us to see things differently. Good morning, Margaret. Good morning, Renee. So too are we um, representing several facets of our own human physicality. So as Mother Earth goes through these changes, we also go through changes internally, both emotionally and physically. And it's not a question of do we have a choice? It is a natural process that we go through. And our ancient ancestors were more than open to that, because that's how they survived, was knowing that the seasons were changed and there were certain things they had to do in order for them to stay healthy and whole and as a community. And they came together. They came together at those times to celebrate, and they came together to help each other. What we see in the world today is not so much of that. We do see people come together when there's a crisis, but we don't see it so much in the everyday world. Everyday world now, you might read headlines of somebody beating somebody up because they're a different race, or they're somebody doing something to somebody just out of greed, or these are not behaviors that our ancestors act with, because they knew that everybody was important. Everybody in the community was important. And in many cultures, when somebody would act out, the community would surround that person and send them love and do dances and sing songs. And the shaman of the village would come and do a healing on that person, because they knew that everybody in the community had a role and a place that was to be positive and helpful. And so, these are the things that we keep forgetting. Um, I'm going to use the word forgetting, but it's, I'm not going to say that it's how we really have been acting lately. We've been slowly creeping along into a place where uh, trusting each other is very challenging and difficult. Morning, Faith, and good morning, Norman. I cried, I died, I slept for 3 days and 3 nights, and God woke me up by the cedar tree. Bless you, brother. and welcome to our little talk here this morning, and welcome to April and spring. So, without going crazy here, it's the time of our earthly cycles that I'm really talking about, and how our earthly cycles relate to us as humans. And so the cycles represent rebirthing, they represent transformation, they represent blooming or flourishing. Again, so these are the things that spring brings up for me. I live in the southwest coast of Maine in the USA. And so right now it's raining, but it's a spring rain. It's a gentle rain. It's warmer out. It's not freezing rain, and the plants and everything are blossoming. So they're coming. Trees are budding, and the water is being used to nurture us and nurture all of life. And so it's this rebirthing, transformation, and flourishing that I want to talk about. How do we as humans come into the spring or into the seasonal changes and apply the action of the world around us within us? Okay, because we're not separated. We've never been separated. We are part of Mother Earth. We're a living form on Mother Earth. We're in the animal species, if you will. We call ourselves human, but we're really we walk, we talk, we hold, we do things as animals do, not so much like trees. We're not trees and plants. Nothing you don't already know. So this is why I say welcome to April and spring, is because it's a renewal. It's time of renewal. It's not anything that we don't already know, but many of the things need to be brought up again as a cycle and looked at and reevaluated as we decide, what do I want to be? Who am I? What is going to happen in my future? So here we are in the new moon, and it's dark, represents darkness. There's no moon in the evening. Many people look at that as negative, and it's just the light is there. It's just we can't see it being reflected off the moon. The sun is still there. It's sending us all kinds of energies right now. So many of you may be having tough sleep patterns or energy bursts during the day, and that's from the light. That's the light coming to planet Earth. So even in the darkness of the no moon shining at night, we're getting energies from the light that is phenomenal. And this new moon allows us to embrace the darkness. People say, why would I want to embrace the darkness? Well, the key is not to have fear of the darkness. So if you don't want to embrace it, at least have no fear of the darkness. The darkness is just an aspect. And it's an aspect where we have to then rely on our own light to guide us. So we're not looking outside of us for the light to guide us. We have to trust the light within us. Where is this light within you? And where and how and what do you do with it if you find it? Is, another question is, okay, I found it, I see it, I know what it is, but now what do I do? So, the reality is that each of us have been on this journey for whatever years we've been alive in this physical body. And we've been challenged by a lot of darkness. Because in the darkness, things can happen that we can't see or we can't know in advance. We have no full warning of it. And what I wanted to look at today was how, the plants and the flowers are all in the darkness until the spring. And as the weather gets, they come up to the light. But they didn't need the light to grow in from the seed. They were in the darkness. They grew in the darkness. So the message is, if the plants and flowers and trees can do that, so can we, because we're all connected. So we're going to go through periods of darkness where it isn't about fear and not knowing what's going to happen. It's about having the intention of, after the darkness, I'm going to be the light. I'm coming into the light. We are, in essence, just as seasonal as all life around us. Some animals hibernate. They go into the darkness for the winter. They come out in the spring. This is a normal pattern. So if you've been feeling somewhat in the darkness this, for the past few months, and especially with all the things going on in the world, that's perfectly normal. But this April, this spring that we're entering into, and even for those who are entering the fall, is an important time, I think, for all of us, because the darkness is really challenging us, even when we're not in it. Even when we're in the bright of day, that darkness seems to keep bringing things up in us. And those things stem not only from what's happening to us now, but what has happened to us in our past and is logged in as trauma. And it's not something that you need to fear. It's something we all have, except some people have a lot more of it, or a lot more fear of it, or the pain and suffering from it than others. But nobody escapes trauma. Trauma is a natural part of life. Part of it is designed for us to make us aware of what not to do. We've crossed a line, or something's happened to make us aware of our fragility or our vulnerability. And know that it's our job to set up boundaries and protocols where we become aware of something before it happens. We can see it coming. We can know the potential of damage it can do, and we steer away from it. It sounds easy. I wish I knew this when I was 10 years old. However, when we're young, we don't understand any of this. And we're not taught this. We're not taught this because our parents and their parents went through the same pattern. So we keep repeating the patterns, just like the seasons keep repeating. We keep repeating the patterns. So let's think about spring. Let's think about the power of the sun's light becoming stronger, warming us. What can we do to help ourselves warm up? How can we follow that natural rhythm of Mother Earth and the stars and the planets? Because each of us are truly desiring the energy of love, of balance, and harmony. And each of us are also desiring to be appreciated and admired, if not by others, at least by ourselves. So many of us have the ability to be seen by others and receive a lot of praise and balance and harmony. But within us, we don't have that. And we're forcing ourselves to try and make it real because of the trauma that keeps it over the surface of that, buried deep within us, is that appreciation. Deep within us, under that darkness, is that admiration that we should have for ourselves. Because it's in that moment we can be our best. We can offer the best that we have. Because in that moment, we're realizing the best that we have. How do we get there? Not easy, is it? Each one of us have our own drama. We have our own pain. We have our own suffering. We have our own stories. So as we come into spring, what I really want everybody to just think about is to contemplate what you might like to change within you, not anybody outside of you. We're not here to change others other than by offering the energy of change that they may see it, embrace it, and do it for themselves. We can't change anybody. I can't change you. If you want to believe that you're worthless, you're going to continually find things that will confirm that worthlessness. But I am here to say that you're not worthless. You're precious. You're divine. You're beautiful. You are as beautiful as nature outside of us. And in the spring, nature comes alive. It blossoms. The flowers rise. The buds on the trees, the leaves show up again. Everything comes to life. Can you come to life this spring? Can you take the darkness of the winter, the pressure of what's going on in the world around us, the suffering, the pain, the injustice, the greed, the bullying, the lies, and can you rise up through that and be the beautiful flower that you truly are? The one that people ride down the street, oh, look at those, aren't they beautiful? Oh, I haven't seen those in a lot. Oh, look at that one. And look at the uniqueness of, look, there's so many different kinds. We're a beautiful garden. Each one of us had the ability to draw that attention, not because we want to seek attention, but because we radiate the light and the love that calls us to see each other as we truly are. Our roots, where are our roots? And all of the plants have roots. Where are our roots set? Are our roots grounded? Are we grounded into Mother Earth? Do we have roots where we can sit with Mother Earth when we're out of whack a little bit and then just come back into balance and allow Mother Earth's energy to stabilize us? Nature is all around us to support us. It's not here as a profit system. It's here to support us. And as it supports us, we support nature. As you can see in the world, we have destroyed a lot of nature. And we continue to do that. So this year, this spring, how can you look at and say, okay, if I don't do this, or I don't buy that, or then there's a bonus. Yeah, I might miss the handiness of this, or I might miss the purpose of this. But I'm offering this to Mother Earth as a gift from my heart. Ecology isn't about a science. Ecology is about a balance. It's about a balance of what can be given and not destroy the giver. What can you give to people without being destroyed? How many of you feel that your kindness, your love for others has been used and abused, taken and disrespected? This is Mother Earth. This is humanity. We're not different. We just do it differently because we're different physicalities. Our roots. Let's find where our roots are. And if we don't have any roots, I would suggest you plant some roots. Dive into Mother Earth. Ask Mother Earth, what can she do for us as we do for her? And make it, a journey, if you will. And now I know many of you do this, and you do probably more than I do. But for those of you who are lacking that, or live in big cities where nature is not as prevalent, find those places. Those little places, that little park bench in the local commons or whatever, that just brings you to a place of peace, a place, a sense of self, where you can watch the squirrels and the birds. And you can bring them something, offer them something, become one with them, and realize that, yes, you can communicate with all life. We're not alone. We're not abandoned. There is life all around us, and it will speak to us, and we can speak to it. You can speak to your dollar bill. I don't think you're going to get much of an answer. You can, well, now you can speak to your car and it'll answer you, but for the most part, that communication we know is all programmed. And it's going to answer what it was told to answer. It doesn't have a mind of its own. It doesn't have a beingness. The truth of our magnificence is held in the environment that is right now wasting away. And we have to step up and say, I want that truth. I want the truth of who I am. What is my relationship with everybody? What is my relationship with all things? Because it's there that we're going to see our magnificence. Magnificence, yes, you are magnificent. And we're here, all magnificent beings, rising from the darkness of winter into the spring of renewal. We are alive. We're not just living. We are alive. There's a difference. Alive is full of energy. A lot of things can be living and wilted or falling over or diseased or, we are alive, and we have always been alive. And each one of us has the gifts to offer each other that bring forth healing in each other. Especially the healing of emotional darkness. It's there. It's there in all of us. It's down deep in our hearts. It's covering our real heart. And this is what we have to go through. Down through that darkness and find the light in our hearts and bring it out. And as we do that, the darkness chips away and gets tossed out, and the light within our hearts becomes brighter and brighter and brighter. We can love each other unconditionally. You can love each other not because you have money, not because you have a nice house, not because you're the CEO of a company, not because you have all of this or all of that. We can love each other because we admire each other. We see something in the other person that reflects back to us our own beauty, our own unselfishness. How do you have renewal? How do you have renewal in a world of selfish behavior? It's highly unlikely to be very abundant. It's the selfishness of humanity. I want, I want, I want. Nothing wrong with wanting, but when is enough enough? When do you have a limit of saying, oh, I have enough now. I'm okay. I'll share what I have with others. If we look at the upper echelon of our societies, that is not possible. It's all about greed and power. I want, I want, I want. It's become, I'm getting a psychotic game. And right now, each of us, or at least I am, being called to take a look at all of it, to reflect on where I want to be in the regathering of people with open hearts, with open minds, who are not afraid of loving kindness, who have no fear of others criticizing them or making fun of them, because their hearts have a strong energetic vibration. And it's that strong energetic vibration that we send out into the world to reach all others who are suffering. All humans are suffering at some level right now. It's a time of change. A time not just to please everyone around you, but to live your life from deep within your heart. That is where the joy is going to arise from, is to wake up in the morning and know that you are in charge of your own happiness. You are in charge of your own well-being. You are in charge. And the decisions you make that align with that in a beneficial way are automatically sent out as a vibration of your wellness to those around you. And many of them will run like hell because they don't want to see that light in you, because it reminds them that they don't have it and they don't know how to get it. And if any of you are feeling that way, that you're living in darkness and you can't find the light, I want to just tell you point blank, the light in you is always there. All it is buried deep down below the darkness. Fear not the darkness. You are okay. You have the power to guide yourself through that darkness. If you need assistance from others, that's fine. But you'll come to a point where the darkness will come, and like the sky with no moon, there's still all those stars shining brightly. So it's not as dark as you think it is. And all those stars are us, shining at each other, saying, hey, look at me, I'm over here. Look at me, I'm over here. Hey, look at me, I'm over here. Not from an ego space, but just from the sheer joy of seeing the star. And what does the star offer us? It's light. Be the light in the world. We've taken many turns, wrong turns on the evolutionary path of our existence, and we're going to take more wrong turns. Yet the messages I receive is that we are on the road now. We've cleared the rough waters, and we're now coming into a period of hopefully of a little calmer and a place to look at what we've been through and what we're still going through, but with less fear. And in that moment, the world around us is going to try to turn the volume up of the fear. Doesn't matter how. They've got thousands of fears to play with. But fears keep us entrapped in an ideology that doesn't serve us because it is not our natural self. We are not robots yet. We are sovereign beings. It's once again time to trust yourself. Be gentle, be kind, be loving. Be like the flowers that are opening up. Yeah, we're going to get rained on. The winds are going to break some of our petals off. And we're going to wilt a little. But just imagine the moment of love and kindness you offer when that person sees you in that beingness. They won't forget it. And the more of us that appear in that beingness, the more less will forget it. I have three sentences I numbered. I don't know why, but my guides always guide me, so I just, follow sometimes orders. One is, it is right time. And it is the best season to listen to your heart and feel yourself knowing that the brain chatter is now in need of a good cleansing. 2, recognize that living in the future depends on your very simple choices in this moment. Number 3, trusting yourself brings you to the truth within yourself. And from there, all positive change occurs. And I was reminded of a song that came out in 1967 by an English group called the Zombies. It's called The Time of the Season. And I just put one thing. It's the time of the season for loving. And I thought back at how in my innocence at that age that I was, I got married. No clue. And it was just the moment of being in the moment and being free to make that choice. I can look back now and say it was a wrong choice, but in that moment, it was everything. Here is the key. Do not fear who you are. Do not deny who you are. Yes, become aware that your choices in any given time can have things go wrong in the future. And are you willing to move through them? Because everything we move through is a teaching. Everything that's presented to us is a gift, good or bad. It is part of learning who we are here in this third dimension as a human being, doing the best we can to love ourselves and each other. Bless you all. Thank you all. I see so many here, so thank you. And be at peace in your heart as the spring unfolds. For those of you who are entering fall, respect the beauty of the changing colors of the tree as they show their brilliance, their last hurrah, saying, look at us, we are amazing beings. And before we go to sleep for the winter, we're going to show you how magnificent we are. Be magnificent. Be that truth. Be that light. So, as we begin spring and we move into the future, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, bless you all and thank you all for being here. And know that in your darkest moments, there is still light. Look for the light. Find the light in that dark moment and aim yourself towards that light. We all experience darkness, but it's nothing to fear. As one person said, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. Truer words, I don't think, could be expressed. So know that you have the power to overcome fear. You have the power to bring light into the darkness. You have the power to grow out of the darkness into the light. You're amazing. You're beautiful. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. We are unity. One heart. One love. It's time we get back to that and show the world the potential of what it really has. As a collective whole, not as 8 billion individuals. Thank you and bless you, and know that I'll be here again next Friday if you so desire to join me, and if not, This is always held on Humanity Healing in their video file. And then I usually post it on my blog and put a copy in YouTube on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I can be found everywhere. Not that anybody wants to find me, but if you want to, it's just Charlie Riverman, and you'll get it. But it's Charlie Riverman Bergeron, and they know more about me than I do at this point. So be who you are, and don't be afraid. You are powerful in love. Love you all. Oh, Carrie. Hello, Carrie. See you. Yep. Renee, Nicole. Thank you. Yeah. Beautiful. That's, yeah. All the, so that you can't, you stubborn, you can't eat your money. Absolutely. You know, these are the messages that each one of you hold in your own hearts. And I just, I love to, Radhika, bless you, dear. And I hope your mother's doing better today. I send her my love. Wayne, you're always a bubble. You're a bubble of everything here on the sideboard here. And thank you for all those bubbles and colors and comments. And so, each one of us have our own journey, and it's precious. And I want you to honor that preciousness, because it's in that moment that, as I speak to you from my heart, I receive the love from your heart. So thank you. Without you, I can't be me. Without me, I can't be you. See you next week, or somewhere in the synchronicity. Bless you all. Have a great day. Have a great month. Be who you are.